Today I'm going to show you a way to look at money that'll make you go, huh. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Da Vinci. I'm in the Pipe 5x5 here in Dubai. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Man, you know what? I'm going to show you something about money, right? As I saw this article and I was asked the question this morning, why is Bitcoin going down when everything went up? Right? When Solana went up and Ethereum went up and so many other cryptocurrencies in this space went up. And Bitcoin went down on the weekend. Well, because Bitcoin is a global financial asset now. And what does that mean? That means it has to be managed. Right? So effectively, Bitcoin has climbed to 1.7% of global money before the Fed chair signaled the cut rate. That was before he signaled. And then it probably increased a little bit and then dropped back. Now, I want you to understand something here, right? That although, right, Bitcoin is this 1.7% of all global money. And if it's probably less if you include real estate and so forth. But let's just take only money, right? M2 supply or global M2 supply of all the monetary units that are out there. What are you looking at, right? What are you guys looking at that makes you go, well, you know what? Bitcoin is going to take over all money and what's going to happen to the dollar and so forth, right? And you're like, hey, how does this all work? Well, there's a lot of cash sitting on the sidelines, and I can show you that. One of the persons who holds a lot of cash is Warren Buffett. Whenever he's held a lot of cash, right? And his Berkshire Hathaway has dramatically trailed the S&P 500.
Hey, I need to disturb you for a second because I'm going to be doing a course on how to buy Bitcoin, how to use Bitcoin, how to use a wallet, how to use a hardware wallet, how to basically store Bitcoin for the long term. Because we all know that it's going to be the money. You need to have this. Very happy to help you guys.
There's usually a recession along the way. So what exactly is happening, right? When you see somebody holding cash and somebody who's not, right? There's somebody like me who's not holding cash, who holds Bitcoin, a lot of Bitcoin. I do have some cash, but not a lot, right? And then there's somebody like Warren Buffett who holds a lot of cash. And so effectively, there will always be somebody who believes the US dollar is not going anywhere, right? And there's always somebody who will value the US dollar. Why is that? Because you have to pay it back. Somebody borrowed it to pay it back. So when you borrow against your Bitcoin, you help support the US dollar, just so you know, because you have to pay that back. So by having to pay that back with interest, you're chasing after dollars, which increases the value, right? So this helps the US dollar stick around a lot longer than you think it might do when you have a superior monetary system, right? So when you see this, right, when people say there's a lot of cash on the side, it's irrelevant. It's a stupid statement. And they mention it in this video here, which hopefully we'll put the link in the description below, that so if I give you my Bitcoin and you give me cash, the cash is still here, right? The cash is still on the sidelines, right? It's just moved from you to me, right? So all that cash still exists, right? That they've printed, they create. Just keep that in mind. No matter what, right? As they grow the cash supply, that cash will always exist, right? So you're like, well, wait a second here, Da Vinci. I know how the monetary system works. As soon as you pay off the debt, the cash disappears. Yeah, true. But they keep increasing the debt, increasing the amount of money out there. And every time they increase the debt, that also counts as money as well. Because somebody has to hold that as an asset on their balance sheet. Ta-da! So, right? Yeah, I know. It's like, ooh, darn, damn. And there's no way out of this system. It has to grow exponentially once it collapses in on itself, right? Meaning that, exactly like you said, if somebody starts paying off their debt, then the money supply drops, right? And if the money supply drops, it's impossible for somebody else to pay off their debts. Ooh. Yeah. Eh? So, yeah, you see the problem there. So eventually, right, this grows exponentially. And eventually someone's going to realize, I'm holding all this cash that keeps growing exponentially. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should let somebody else do that. So once that comes to a fruition, right, then, right, the dollar starts to fall apart. So already I'm in a position of, hey, I'm not holding those dollars. And because I'm in that position, they're going, and along with a lot of other people, right, the people who hold cash understand this situation, especially if you own a lot of cash. You'd be like, I need to get people out of the other assets so I can buy them at a lower price with all this cash that either I have or I can print. How do I do that? I got an idea. I manage the price lower somehow. And there it is. Right? That's it. You manage the price lower, right? There will be a point where, especially since people actually leverage themselves up to buy an asset like Bitcoin, they go into debt, they either or trade it, right? So you can actually cause the price to go down if you move things accordingly, right? And that's all it is, right? So that's what's happening with Bitcoin, and that's what's going to happen for the foreseeable future until they can't do it anymore. All right, so hopefully you've seen the ad for my Bitcoin for beginners. If not, you can join there for absolutely free, and I'm going to be adding some core classes, free classes as well shortly. Okay, let's take a look at the charts and see what we can see. Got stopped out there and boom. And let's just see if this thing continues higher. But yeah, they're managing price heavily downward because they need to, right? There was a divergence. It's actually confirmed now because of this big pump up. So, and usually confirmed divergences come back down to retest the lows. We have now a wick here, so maybe we'll retest that wick before we actually go higher, and then see if Bitcoin goes a lot higher, because it looks like going on Solana, right? Solana has broken out. Solana has created an interesting set of patterns, which I've noticed, right? You can see there is an area, right? Another parking garage here, and that's transpiring here. This area. But so I wonder if this is a parking garage now too. And let's see. Is this a parking garage down here? Let's see. Ooh. Ow. Look at that. Yeah. So effectively, right, that is another clear parking garage area for Solana. So we have to accept that that's what's going on with the charts. And you can see that we are in an upward trend, right? If you want to take a long on this, right, we should not break this upward trend here. Then you have to you have to get out. If you took a long down here, you're golden. That was the right move. And then we broke higher, right? We're saying we're going to retest this upward trend line. We did, but we actually broke higher. That was the interesting thing. We broke higher. And so now it's got to hold that trend line. A break of that trend line, you need to leave your trade, right? And it could break that trend line. But the thing is, you need to see this. If you're in a short, you need to see that, right? And what does that look to you? Oh yeah, that's right. A cup and handle, or even a W pattern for the win. And this particular win takes us, right, with the target, conservative target, right up here. Look at that. Look at that, at that green line. Look at that. Interesting. I wonder. Oh, so it's approximately the next what's it called? Parking garage, approximately. And there it is. So I'm going to mark that. So somewhere right here is probably where you want to take profits if you're going to go into a long now. right about now, right? So if you want to long this, how do you do that? Well, you simply head over to bybit.davincij15.com, or you can head over and find it at the davincij15.com/referrals. Links are in the description below. And you can get a $30,000 bonus, right, with Bybit. And also, right, join my team on the World Series of Trading for Bybit as well. Okay. And that's how you would trade this, right? You do. So let's just take a look at where we would enter for Solana and how we would trade this all the way up there. So you're going to have to be patient with this, but it could be instant, right? But it looks like we're going to do this really fast. The correct move is all the way here, stop loss. But since we know we are not, if you want to get in, right, or we want to get in now, all the way to the green line, you're going to have to reduce this to 2-to-1, so you get a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And there it is. Boom. That would be a stop loss entering anywhere in down in here. I would hold below this upward trend line. It is a negative signal, right? It has to hold that trend line. It doesn't have to, but it would be better if it did. It'd be better if it did. Okay? And that's it. Let's see what happens after that. So you can do a small risk. Now, before I get to this chart, right, which really, really irks me the most. Why? Because I expected Bitcoin to do better than that, but I just realized, you know what? It is now an asset of interest by the powers that be. So obviously they have to, without equivocation, manage the price. So here, Ethereum has the same kind of upward trend line. I wouldn't hold this trend line that much, give this trend line that much strength, but it is there. And at a specific parking garage, and wouldn't be surprised. I don't think we have a good trade here. Wouldn't be surprised if this comes back down and Bart Simpson's all the way back down here. Unfortunately, that would not shock me, right? Because whilst Bitcoin is a global reserve asset now, Ethereum is getting up there, and so they might want to go, okay, well, we got to hit that guy too, right? When we hit Bitcoin, right? So don't be surprised if that gets hit. Solana might take a little bit of a beating along with it, but then, if you want to take the risk of holding on to it so that this breakout can materialize, it could happen, right? We could have like another W-ish app. Hopefully we get another W-ish pattern here. We zoom in here. Let me zoom in and show you where there should be if we get another W-ish happening. Let's just see here. Let's go to the hourly, right? We come back down, we W up a little bit more, and then boom, break out. That would be sweet. Big move higher, right? You have to make your stops break even if we do break out, and just let that run. Okay, so not really too happy about this particular move. I'm not sure that this would be a good idea, safe idea to go long on at this time here. So I just can't recommend a long here. Could only recommend a short, and even that is a little bit risky in the context of the fact that it's in a bullish market. Okay, I have to capitulate. I thought 74% was our target, and it's no longer. Why? Because we have a falling wedge that's broken. It is what it is. Targeting 54%. I can't defend this any longer to go higher. I thought it was going to go higher. Honestly, I did. And now it's broken some serious trend lines, and it's over. Right? Bitcoin is in a bear market in comparison to other cryptos at this point in time. Right? We've created 1, 2, 3 lower highs. And one, let's see here. 1, 2, no, let's see here. No, we can't count that one. 1, 2, 3 lower lows. What you gonna do? Right? It is breaking. It's broken some upward trend lines. This one and this new one that I created, and it's not recovering. So it is what it is. There's no recovery here, right? And that's it. It is what it is. With that said, you can see that Ethereum might hold water, and same with Solana, right? And same with a lot of other cryptocurrencies out there, right? So if we were to look at some of the other cryptos, Cardano, right, Maker, they're all going to probably Binance Smart Chain just created a new high, right? They're all going to outpace Bitcoin for the next little while. It is what it is, right? So can't look at it any other way, and that's it. Alrighty. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.